What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk here, back again with another video. NHL free agency day one is complete. There's a lot of players still available. Some depth guys, trades are always available, and then guys will sign, and there's a whole bunch of madness still. So this off season is far from over. I have a ton of new videos coming on the way. I've got a lot of ideas. So if you guys are new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Join the squad. I'd love to have you guys here. Man, the Maple Leafs were busy today. There's some signings that I really like. There's some signings that I don't like. And then there's some where I'm kind of on the fence. And, I was not very happy hearing some of the rumors of the players that the Maple Leafs could be interested in. But now that I look at the structure and I kind of think of what's going on, there is still room for improvement. And Brad Treliving said himself, and you can go look it up. There's a lot of quotes out there. Brad Treliving said himself, they're not done here. There's a few other guys that they're depth pieces that they're working on right now that are going to come in pretty soon, and that they're not done. They want to add on the forward group because as it stands right now, they haven't really done anything on the forward group. So let's look at all the signings for the Maple Leafs. We'll start here. Max Domi, we already know, and Timothy Liljegren both signed contracts for the Maple Leafs. Liljegren coming in at $3 million for 2 seasons, so $6 million total. Max Domi, 4 years, $15 million total, 3.75. Then we have Joseph Woll. We already knew about this one, 3 years, $10.98 million, and that'll be 3.66 by the end of it. Oliver Ekman Larson, that's a new one that was signed today, but we were already kind of privy to that. 4 years, $14 million total, $3.5 million cap hit. Matt Murray is coming back. And don't worry, I'll get to all of these signings individually. Matt Murray, 1 year, $875. That's a variable contract. We'll talk about that as well. Anthony Stolarz, a new goalie for the Maple Leafs, $2.5 million for 2 seasons, worth $5 million. We got Chris Tanev, which we knew about, 6 years, $4.5 million, $27 million total. And Yanni Hakanpää, $1.5 million for the next 2 years for a $3 million total. So we talked a little bit about Liljegren. We talked a little bit about Domi. We talked about Woll. Let's talk about Oliver Ekman Larson. Now, OEL has had a fantastic career, but the thing is, the last few years, he's kind of been hot and cold. He's been bought out twice. He's been a guy that kind of got his game back a little bit with Florida, though, because he's still playing, anywhere between 16 to 18 minutes a night. He still gives you that veteran leadership and still gives you those points from the back end. And if I'm going to look at anything positive here, OEL is an offensive defensive guy, right? An offensive defenseman, I should say. He will be a quarterback on the power play, and the Maple Leafs have had trouble with that. Like when Florida needed a goal, and I think Steve Dangle brought this up, it's a great point. When Florida needed a goal in the playoffs, Oliver Ekman Larson was on the ice, not Montour, not Ekblad. They had OEL out there because he will shoot the puck, and he actually scored more than once that way. He will shoot, and the Maple Leafs have been crippling on their power play at times. Like, they've been so bad. There's no shot production from the blue line, and if it is, it's high and wide and shots all over the place. Liljegren needs to get better in that area if he's going to stick around on this team, but OEL will definitely give the Maple Leafs that extra bonus when it comes to being an offensive guy, a guy that can shoot from the point. I actually don't mind the contract. $3.5 million is a little steep, but again, if you see the numbers that are going around today for all these different guys, you kind of have to live with it. Now, next, Matt Murray. Was not expecting this, but at $875,000, he is the Martin Jones replacement. He's the third goalie for the Maple Leafs. He is not going to get claimed on waivers if he gets put there, so he's more than likely going to be starting the season with the Toronto Marlies. So hopefully he stays healthy, knock on wood, because if he can even recover 60% of his game, he's not going to have to play a lot of games for the Maple Leafs. I would guess they won't do that. If he can just recover that, he'll come up, he'll play a few games for the Leafs, probably barring any injuries. And it's cheap enough that contract won't even count against the cap because they can just bury him in the minors, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit. Anthony Stolarz, big pickup as well for the crease. This is a goalie that needs to prove himself. Stolarz and Woll are going to have to push each other to see who can take over the crease this year, who can be the starting goalie of the Maple Leafs. And if they can be a tandem, I'm not saying they'll be as good. Trust me, I'm not saying that. They're unproven. But Ullmark and Swayman did this. They push each other. Whoever wants that starting role, they got to play for it. And Swayman did it. Ullmark got traded. Not saying one of them are going to go because they're both locked into contracts. If they play really well, they're both pretty young. Stolar's only 30 years old. So pretty good. Stolars and Wall can come and, be a tandem and hopefully push each other to be good. We talked a little bit about Tanev, but this is a solid addition for the Maple Leafs. I don't really like the term 6 years. I also don't really love the $4.5 million. I thought they were going to get him under 4 for 6 or 7 years. But again, in a few years, that contract's not going to matter because I'd imagine they're going to have to LTIR him. He's going to be at that age where they're going to have to make a decision, especially at that cap hit as well. They'll figure out something, and teams do it all the time. But for now, this is a win now move. Shot blocks. He'll play really well defensively. He instantly gives Morgan Rielly his best partner he's ever had. So this is really good. Yanni Hakanpää, dude's 6'7", 225 pounds. He's a monster. And for 2 years at $1.5 million, you can almost bury that contract as well if they need to. Big guy. Hopefully he plays some nights and just knocks the crap out of people out front of the net. He's not that amazing defensively, but again, he's there as depth for physical presence, and you can never have too much physical presence. And, Brad Treliving said it himself. He'd rather have more defensemen than not enough, right? So let's look at the Leafs cap situation right now. Again, shout out to Cap Friendly. This might be the last time I use this website. I said that in the last video, but then I forgot I was going to have to make an update video here. But let's just take a look at it, right? So the Leafs are in the negative of cap space. Not so fast. Matt Murray is 100% going to be going down to the minors to start the season. I want to put that down here. So Matt Murray alone gets the Leafs back where they need to be. Connor Timmins, I still believe he's going to get traded, so I have him on LTIR. I still think the Leafs are going to dump him somewhere. That gives the Leafs around 1 point whatever cap space, 1.1. Cade Weber, not going to make the Leafs. He's another guy. He's going down. And then you're going to have to just, figure out what you're doing with this blue line here. I'd imagine this is how they start the season. Rielly, Tanev, Benoit, McCabe, because that pair did really well. And then, of course, Tanev being Rielly's new partner could work. OEL with Liljegren trying to teach him the ways. And Yanni Hakanpää coming into some games. Benoit will sit out, or maybe Liljegren will sit out, or they could potentially trade Liljegren. We'll have to see about that. Now, you'll see there's still a hole here for the Maple Leafs. Will they make a trade with Järnkrok or David Kampf? Will they move on from Mitch Marner again? Because if you move Mitch Marner, obviously you can see like the Leafs will have $12 million in cap space, but then you've got to fill in that offensive production here, and you also have to find another guy to fill in this spot. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, well, Easton Cowan's just going to make the Maple Leafs. Well, here's the thing. The Leafs are not putting this kid on the fourth line to start his NHL career. If anything's going to happen, they're going to have to move something around like this. It would probably be a Bobby McMahon coming over here with Järnkrok on the left, or they would move David Kampf to the fourth line and they'd move stuff around. I don't know how they're going to do it, but for now, the Maple Leafs could potentially look like this. Again, I'm not going to have Easton Cowan up because I don't know what they're going to do, but they need to fill in another spot here. I think they're okay for the blue line. I actually do enjoy this. This is definitely an upgrade. Like, this blue line is much better. McCabe and Benoit were really good. Like I said, Tanev can finally give Rielly that stability. OEL playing sheltered minutes with Liljegren. They should be fine. And then Yanni Hakanpää getting in there as well. And then the goaltending position, they've got two goalies, two guys that need to prove themselves, but still, there's still work to do on the forward position. So do they go out there and do they try to make a trade for a guy who's a cheaper forward that can give you point production, so that way you have a guy that fits in under the cap that makes less money that can put up goals or points? I don't know. Maybe they trade Kampf. I don't know why people are so quick to want to trade Järnkrok. I think when he's healthy, he's a very good depth scorer. And then here's the other thing. Nick Robertson, he requested a trade, but it seems as though Brad Treliving is saying, no, look, like, we're going to keep talking to him because we want him to stick around here. And the reason why he's saying that is because there is a major opportunity here. The Leafs need another winger. They need a guy that can put up 15 to 20 goals. If I'm Treliving, I go, look, You're going to play the first 25, 30 games of the year. I don't care what I have to do. I'm telling Berube that you need to play. You need to be in every single damn game. You better put up some points and give us that production, or else I will ship your ass out of town. And I'm sure he would take that. I'm sure he would. So we'll have to see if Robertson becomes somebody that takes the spot. Maybe Easton Cowan or Fraser Minton takes the spot, because Treliving brought up those guys as well. But trust me, guys, I've got so much content coming because we have to answer all these questions together. And this is only day one of free agency. There's work to do. Treliving said it himself. There is more work to do. I'm optimistic. I don't think that this team is a lot better offensively, but defensively, we definitely got better. I'm okay with it. So what do you guys think? Sound off in the comments down below. If you're new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. I love and appreciate you guys as always. Go Leafs, go. And let's see what tomorrow brings us. Peace.